Give Martin the chance and he smashes Daniel Dubois 100%. Billy Nelson says. Let me counterpunch. Bro, believe it or not, that is a fight that I want to see. Why? Because Daniel Dubois is not a Joseph Parker. He is not an Effie Ajagba. He is not anybody else. He doesn't have that jump in and out mobile style. He's more of a stationary banger. You know what I mean? He likes to get you in and get you out. And I think that fight between Daniel Dubois and Martin Bakole would be an absolute war. Now, Billy Nelson is supposed to say that, but me personally looking at that fight, stylistically, of course, the way that fight would be fought, you would have a guy trying to walk down a guy that can box and move. Because Daniel can still box. I mean, he showed us he can box when in the AJ fight. He showed us that he can box in the Jarrell Miller fight. He showed us as long as he can land shots, he's mentally stable enough to stay in the fight. Just like the Jarrell Miller fight, just like the Filip Hrgovic fight. Because Filip Hrgovic, believe it or not, was laying leather on the face, hands, chest, and everywhere down there else of Daniel Dubois, right? But Daniel came back and, and showed that, like, I'm no bitch as long as I can hit you, right? Martin Bakole would be similar to Jarrell Miller. That's why I want to see that fight, but I think he's quicker than Jarrell Miller, and I think he has more thump than Jarrell Miller. His punches, they land differently. He chops with his shots. All of his shots are up. They're on the upper body. He's chopping it down on these shots. And I would love to see Martin Bakole in there with Daniel Dubois. And I think if Billy Nelson, the manager / trainer of Martin Bakole, feels that way, let's get some fucking action going. You know what I mean? Let's get these fights happening. Daniel, look, with his new trainer and all that, that's going to mentally help him. I think anything that's changed will help Daniel. Daniel, the last thing I heard of Daniel, he was looking at, fresh fish, right? So, he's enjoying his life, but I think he wants to continue his career, and the same thing I say about Daniel Dubois, I said about Dillian Whyte. I mean, if you get beat by some of the best fighters around right now, there's no need to quit. You're just not the best fighter around right now, But no, I would love to see that too. The question is, what is Billy Nelson doing to secure a fight with Daniel Dubois? See, we hear a lot of talk in boxing. I mean, it sounds good. It gives us stories. It gives us shit to talk about. But I would rather talk about negotiations and people that actually want fights. Fighters that want the fighters that will give them the most challenges. Now, as crazy as that may sound these days, because Mayweather painted a picture to a lot of fighters that it's not cool to fight the toughest fighters and you want to get in out of the ring intact and all that shit. Well, you're in the wrong sport, pal. Pick another sport then, because this is boxing and it's no game. This ain't football. This ain't basketball. Hell, there's no ball. There's just these and these. It's boxing, baby. So it is what it is. I think that Martin Bakole and his trainer, his manager, I think they should secure a fight when they're doing all this talking. So if you're doing all that talking, you should be doing walking with the talking. Now that I can get down with, because we hear Billy Nelson and, he's talking about Martin Bakole and stuff like that, I think he needs to also focus on his weight. Yeah. Because, Derek Chisora really got in his ass, pause. The last time with his weight, and he was like, dude, you're fat as fuck. You need to go work out. What are you doing? You know what I mean? That's your problem right there. You showing up looking like a big Mississippi pimp with gold and shit with a big hat, looking like you just came out of Jackson, Mississippi. And you know what I mean? And you're fat like you just ate a bucket of chicken, And then he's and you say you are an elite champion or fighter. If you are that elite, you need to be elite and you need to do elite stuff. Stop filling your face and feeding your body a bunch of bullshit in between fights. Take care of yourself. That doesn't have anything to do with being a family man. Come on, bro. Push that plate away. That's what I'll say. But you guys tell me what you think of Billy Nelson saying that Martin Bakole would destroy Daniel Dubois 100%. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.